I, 20 female, walked in on my boyfriend, 22 male, cheating on me with a longtime friend. My boyfriend, who I'll call K, and I had been dating for 4 years. After high school, he asked me to move in with him in a different state. I agreed so that we could be together while we attended college. Over the years we made amazing friends here, and he was just as kind to me as when we first started dating. Cute awkward text messages, surprise gifts, and flowers at least once every 2 weeks. We had a date night every Thursday, after work as well. He also told me he loved me, at least once a day. Well, last week I got out of work early. I was in a good mood, because Kay had sent flowers to my workplace and ordered me Chinese for lunch, because I had mentioned that I had a taste for it the night before. On my way home from work, I picked up some of his favorite donuts and went home. When I walked in the door, I could immediately hear the moaning. I walked to our bedroom to see that our friend Ellie was on top of him. My heart dropped. They'd known each other for 10 years, but they were never close, or so I thought. They didn't notice me until I dropped the donuts. They quickly covered themselves up, and Kay got up to try and explain the situation to me, but I wasn't hearing any of it. I packed a bag and left to my friend's house. I spent a week at my friend's house, wondering if I wasn't satisfying him enough, and what I did wrong. Both Kay and Ellie bombarded me with messages, trying to explain themselves. Kay told me that it just happened. He said this really was the first time, and it wasn't planned at all. That I should know this isn't the real him. He explained that she came over, and that one thing just led to another, and it was a mistake he'd do anything to fix. He sent me pictures of an engagement ring as well. Ellie messaged me as well, saying how she never meant to hurt me, and that it wasn't supposed to be this way. I decided to call my friend, Ian, and explain the situation to him. I asked him if he'd be willing to come with me and help me to grab my things while Kay was at work in the morning. I explained the situation to my friends and family, and they all agree that leaving is the best option. I will be taking all of my things and flying back home. My parents have sent me the money for a ticket, and I'll be moving back in with them for the time being. I don't plan on telling Kay anything. He will just come home to a partially empty apartment. Wow, what bad luck he has, that on the day you happen to come home early, you happen to catch him cheating, the one and only time. Like, what are the odds? Obviously, he has been doing it with her, and maybe others, for some time, and he is a bad person for it. You are a great girl, and you will get over this. Just be grateful that this happened now, and not after marriage, or a kid, or just later in life. You are still young and beautiful, and smart, and will find someone you will deserve to make you happy. As if what they were doing needed an explanation. Good, leave him, he doesn't deserve any explanation. Let me explain, always gets me. Like, what is there to explain? I think OP saw all she needed to see. As horrible as all of this is, the engagement ring has got to be the worst part. What an absolutely horrible, manipulative thing to show you. See, babe. Yeah, I slept with our friend, but I'll do you the honor of attaching myself to you legally, forever if you forgive me. We'll be happily married before you know it. Getting engaged to distract you from my infidelity is definitely step 1 to a fulfilling marriage. The fact that you immediately put your foot down, ended the relationship, and moved out is fantastic. Too many of us have given multiple chances to cheating partners. We read a dozen posts a day about it, and I'm really glad to hear that you're unwilling to accept being treated like this. You're handling this like a champ, and it will get better. My husband cheated on me, and it resulted in a child. His parents don't seem to think it's that big a deal. The backstory is basically that he cheated and got her pregnant. He ended up having to come clean to his family, because it's obviously going to be a never-ending series of painful events following this forever. You can't exactly hide a child for long. His parents were shocked at first, but then it finally fell into, that's life. We all make mistakes, and that's about it. Okay, I didn't expect them to disown him or anything. He's their kid, and you love your kid unconditionally, but I'm over here developing a substance problem to deal with the pain. I'd have preferred an STD to this. My family has no idea yet, because I don't want to deal with that. They'll just find out when they find out. So yeah, I'm having some booze. Edit, I should add here that I'm seeing a therapist already, and they know I am drinking. Stop letting him ruin your life. Choose therapy over booze, and leave him. My father cheated on my mother constantly. She stayed for the sake of the children. Because it was easier. Because she could forget about it during the good times. He ended up leaving her for one of his other women, using her depression against her, to take full custody of my younger siblings. I was 19 at the time, and 8 years older than the oldest of them, and my mother never recovered. It's always easy to stay, until it's the thing you resent most about the whole situation. Leaving is hard, but the fallout from him eventually leaving you, and he will. I don't mean to be cynical, but this won't end in your favor. If not one person is even slightly holding him accountable for what he's done, will always be harder than just getting out now, with your dignity. Your kids will be fine. He's already caused the trauma. You leaving starts the healing. A similar situation here. We were 16, and our father used my mom's bipolar disorder against her. I wish she would have left sooner, for her sake. If you choose to drink and ignore the problem, your kids will hate you. OP also, tell your family and tell your kids before your husband has the chance to spin lies. My husband's best friend. My husband's best of friend of nearly 30 years drunkenly announced last night that he is in love with me, and the only reason he married his wife, my best friend's little sister, was so he could stay in our friend group and be close to me. This was announced in the presence of my husband, his wife, my best friend, and her husband, among others. My husband and I just moved back to our home state 4 months ago, after 17 years in Colorado. I had no idea this guy felt this way, none of us did, and it is awkward and mortifying. Several of our friends that we were with us last night were supposed to join us for a fundraiser dinner tonight, and they've all canceled. I'm in such disbelief I didn't bring this on, or know anything about his feelings, intentions, yet I'm being shunned and ostracized. I'm at a complete loss. Why are you being shunned for his behavior? Surely your best friend and his wife, ex, know you are innocent and are angry with him. What's your husband's position? Honestly, I'm at a loss to understand why you are being shunned, unless everyone is just super embarrassed by this whole thing and are waiting for it to blow over before they contact you. What an absolutely awful human being he is. To knowingly marry someone he doesn't love, to stay close to someone else. What was he thinking? To say nothing about the absolute betrayal of his best friend, as well as his wife. I'm feeling so much for his wife right now, who was obviously humiliated beyond belief. My husband is angry and in all rights, being very protective. This guy is no longer his friend in his mind, but now also a threat. It's extremely emotional for both of us, and of course, dude's wife won't return my texts or calls. This was totally out of the blue and incredibly unexpected. I'm hurting more for my spouse and our friends, who feel blindsided by all of this. I feel responsible, but I really had no clue. Dude and me have never had any relationship, other than friends, in the 25 years I've known him. I'm thinking our friends are as shocked as we are, hence the canceling of plans, but I don't know where to go from here. Decades of friendships in the balance, and it's horrible. You are absolutely not responsible for this clusterfuck. And whomever is shunning you, that's on them for being an awful friend. You and his wife are the only victims here. You just found out your partner's best friend literally married one of your friends just to have an excuse to interact with you. Disturbing and creepy, to say the least. My father is dating a woman 33 years younger than him, and I am shocked. Throwaway account, because my extended family frequents my other account, and they do know about the situation. I, female 27, got into a heated argument with my dad, male 58, and his girlfriend, female 25. I knew my dad had been seeing a new woman for a couple months. I had not met her till 3 months ago. She is only 25, and however, it does make me very uncomfortable with the 33-year age gap, and I can't really fathom what they have in common. They are both adults, and can decide what they want for themselves. The first time, me and my brother, male 22, met her, we were both shocked. My brother expressed his displeasure with them dating, but my father said he loves her, and he will not be breaking up with her. Me and my brother realized this was something we would have to accept, because he will not listen to our reasoning. I have been back home for a couple days, because my brother is settling into a new apartment, so I took a couple days off work to help him settle in. While I was home, my dad said that me and my boyfriend could stay with him. We had got there when my dad was at work, and his girlfriend was in school. Later that night, while my boyfriend was picking up dinner, she approached me when I was sitting on the couch with my dad, and asked me if I would sleep in a separate room from my boyfriend, because it made her uncomfortable if I did not. I asked her why, and she said she did not want us having sex in her home. I was shocked. I told her that me and my boyfriend have our own apartment, and we are not 16, we know how to control ourselves. She said the thought still made her uncomfortable. I told her to stop thinking about me and my boyfriend having sex, and that just because she's riding my dad's dick does not make her my mother. My dad told me to not get an attitude, and I couldn't talk to her like that. I lost my crap that he was taking her side. I told him that he's been a grown adult longer than she's been alive, and I'm his child. She's not my mom. I'm older than her. I'm not going to take disrespect. I left the room, called my boyfriend. He said he was almost there. Once he got there, we got our stuff and left. We are staying in a hotel for the next couple days, as we help my brother settle in. I truly need to get this off my chest. I find it disgusting that they're dating. I'm thinking about going no contact with my dad, but I don't know if I'd be in the wrong to do that, because he is grown, and he can make his own choices. I'm just so conflicted. Small update, after yesterday, and reading all your comments this morning. Instead of cutting contact with my dad, I am going to go out to lunch with him, and talk to him, and tell him why it makes me uncomfortable, but ultimately, it's his choice. Thank you all for the support, and suggestions on what to do. I will let you all know how it goes. Official update, me and my dad went to lunch to talk about the whole situation. I told him I think that she is just with him for the money. My dad told me he knows this, but he really likes her and he is okay with that, because he has more than enough to spend. I told him in the end, it is his money. The relationship does make me uncomfortable, that he's dating someone younger than me, and someone his son could date, but in the end it is his life. He asked me to just be nice and give her a try. I let him know that I'll play nice if she doesn't try and play mom again. I told him I was uncomfortable with her trying to superstate me and my boyfriend, that I've been with for 7 years. I told him now that if he ever asked us to sleep in separate rooms, that I would completely do it, because it's his house, but she didn't pay any bills. I apologized for coming off disrespectful that night to her and to him, but that was really it. I don't like their relationship, but they are both grown, I can't stop them. Thank you all again for the support of the situation. I am gonna have my brother talk to him, without her there, so he could express his feelings of them being together, cause I feel like he needs to get it out. As long as he's happy, I can't do anything. To the people saying that he might be grooming or abusing her, I don't think my dad would do that, but I also didn't think he would date a girl this young. I will keep an eye on it, but I truly don't think he's that kind of man. I am flabbergasted. She and your father are not married, yet she's concerned with you and your boyfriend sleeping in the same room. This was a power play, and she wanted to see your father eat out her hands. He's ridiculous for falling for it. Seems like OP fell for the ploy as well, and has let the girlfriend put a wedge in OP's relation with her dad. The dad is a fool in love for sure, but the girlfriend is playing her card very well, and it's a shame OP couldn't find a cool way to regain the upper hand. She's a gold digger. Her strategy is to act ridiculous and pretend to be offended by reasonable responses. She is doing this because she does not want you around, to judge her or compete with her, for whatever inheritance your father may leave behind. I have seen it in my own family multiple times. She's his girlfriend, and she's trying to say you can't share a bed with your boyfriend. And you're older. I would have literally laughed in her face. I honestly wouldn't hesitate to at least go low contact with your dad, over him taking her side on this. She's ridiculous. Well, that's it folks. Do you have any similar stories to share? Leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I upload videos every weekday, so if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share with friends, and subscribe to the channel.